So we've got Tao Tao inside, and I thought today would be a good example about how we can talk about triggers and what you can do personally to help reduce a dog's reactivity. Because a lot of time with reactivity, it is very important you're aware of what you're doing, not necessarily what the dog's always doing, because to be honest, they're pretty much going to be doing the same thing. Providing you can read their body language is very, very helpful. One of the very first tips I would be considering for a reactive dog is what you're wearing. It's a very, very small thing. Humans don't really think much of it, but wearing something like a hat or sunglasses can both cause extra reaction out of a dog, specifically if they're not used to it. When a dog is very, very scared, and I've got a lot of fear-based, humans wearing a hat with massive sunglasses looks really, really freaky to them. And when you're working with a reactive dog like this, you don't really want to be stressing them out anymore. Which brings me on to the second point, that invading a dog's space can cause them to be more stressed. Now, dogs are naturally territorial animals. That's what they do. If you watch, like for me, I watch a lot of street dogs. They all have their own territory. Some venture further out, but most of them stick within the same group. When there is a lot of dogs in one area, their territory becomes much smaller, and they well, we now know why Tor Tor's so stressed out if the neighbours are having a really bassy party. But yeah, the territory thing is, the more dogs there are, the smaller the territory. It is just perfectly natural. So if I was to go inside the house right now, his barking will change. So it's quite stressed, it's quite high pitched, but if I go in, you'll notice it becomes very, very different. So respecting a dog's boundaries can go a very, very long way in helping with that. However, we'll say sometimes you do need to push those boundaries and get that balance right, because if you always maintain your distance, you could be doing that for months, depending on the dog, depends on how reactive they are. So sometimes, well, with everything I'm going to be talking about, you do want to be introducing that, and you do want a little bit of stress when you're working with reactive dogs, but not to the point where they're like freaking out, obviously. And doing too much can hinder your progress rather than progress your progress. I think that makes sense. So with that super loud noise a minute ago, just happened over there, very deep, loud, bassy noises, or even loud noises can really trigger a reactive dog. Generally speaking, if a dog is fear reactive, they're going to be very, very sensitive to very loud noises, as well as deeper noises are normally more intimidating to a dog. So because I've been out here talking, he's starting to get used to it and he's settled down a little bit. But the deeper the noise, the more intimidating that is to a dog. High pitch makes them very excited and gets them big, like rowdy. If you think about a squeaky toy, it's supposed to mimic like a small animal squeaking. So the high pitchness gets them going. Whereas a low pitch is why they growl in a low pitch, sometimes like very, very deep. That can cause more of an issue as well. So speaking neutrally goes quite a long way. So now he's stopped barking, I'm going to be going in and I'm going to be pushing this a little bit. Now we're inside, that could be something else that is a potential trigger, and I see this a lot with reactive dogs when things go wrong, and it is specifically in enclosed spaces. When a dog is in an enclosed area, it's very easy for them to either be fight or go into fight or flight response. So if they feel cornered, they'll be way more likely to react, causing them to fight, which is biting. So giving a dog large amounts of space to actually move around rather than cornering them goes a very, very long way. Say you've got two dogs meeting for the first time, a larger open field where the dogs can actually move away from their stress, it can be really beneficial in helping them calm down. Next thing, body language. Now, dogs showing their teeth is usually an aggressive behavior. Eye contact can also be an intimidating behavior to a dog. So when you smile and you look at a dog and the other thing is peering over the top of them, so when you're smiling down, all of that is very, very intimidating to a dog. And that's generally how most people pet dogs when they're not specifically used to or don't know much about dogs. Is they smile, they lean over, they stick their hands over the dog, and it's a really intimidating posture. And there'll be stress signals, but a lot of the time the owner forces that dog to work through it, and they get pet when they don't want to be, which is why it can go so easily wrong, and dogs can become reactive even though they were fine with strangers before. So paying attention to what your body language, neutral is better, stand up, avoid eye contact, you can turn your head to the side to show them that you're not that interested or that you don't want any trouble. But locking eyes and hard staring at a dog is more likely to make them react. Quick movements can also be a huge trigger to a dog. If you are very twitchy, you'll see this why dogs can get scared or excited by children. It's because when they twitch or they move something really fast, the dog's like, what the fuck is going on? That's not quite normal. So slow movements can be way more predictable for a dog. They can pay attention. Doing stuff too quickly can cause them either excitement or more fear. So moving slower can be very, very beneficial. So yeah, Tor Tor's not reacting at the moment, which I'm really happy about. He fully knows I'm in here, and because I'm talking, he can hear me. And this is very big progress because I'm inside his space, I'm inside his home, and he's not barking, he's not even currently checking on me. He's just doing something over there. Let me quickly show you. He'll probably react to this, so even though I'm not going to be looking at him, you'll still see him act. But his barking's much better. And if I sit back down, he should go back to normal. So he'll keep barking and howling and doing his thing, but he's not progressing, he's not trying to bite me. So overall, I'm just happy about that. I wouldn't mind him. It's good that he's gone away and he's just doing his own thing. He's not trying to, as I said, he's not trying to bite me. And that's the biggest difference between a truly aggressive dog and a fearful dog. The definition of aggressive is you want to harm others. Tao Tao doesn't want to harm, but he does in very, very panic situations, and he has panicked very easily. So he is definitely way more fear-based and frustration-based due to his life, and we are working on changing that. Hopefully this is just a few small tips that you can do to help with a reactive dog, or if you see someone with a reactive dog, hopefully that can help you in the future to create a easier sense of ease on that dog rather than trying to stress them out a little bit more.